Hello viewers, tutorial 1, question 5. So here we have an equation to solve. We have q over 4 plus 5 over q equals 3q over 2. So q is here some unknown number that makes the whole equation true. Now for some people the most off-putting thing about this question is that there are 3 fractions here. But actually that's not too much of an issue, because we can deal with them pretty quickly. So we have q over 4 plus 5 over q equals 3q over 2. And what we're going to do is just take these 3 numbers on the bottom and multiply them together and multiply everything in this equation by those 3 numbers. So we've got 4 times q times 2 equals, and on this part we've got going to do the same, so this is 4 times q times 2 times 5, and here 4 times q times 2. Now why would we want to do that? That's because here we've got a 4 on the top and on the bottom, so those will cancel out. Here in the middle it's going to be the q's that cancel out, and on this right hand side we've got a 2 on the top, and so it's those 2's that are going to cancel out. And we no longer have any fractions because there's nothing left on the bottom. So let's combine what we have. We have 2q squared, q times 2 times q, so that's 2q squared, plus the q's have cancelled out, so we're left with 4 times 2 times 5 is 40, equals, so the 2's have cancelled out, so we've got 4 times q times 3q, which is 12q squared. Okay, so we no longer have any fractions, so we're in business. So we've only got 2 kinds of term left. We've got q squared terms like the 2q squared and the 12q squared, and we have just a number, we have the 40. So the best thing to do would be to move this 2q squared to the other side. Let's do that. So it's a plus on this side. It's going to be a minus 2q squared on the other side. So it's going to be 40 equals 12q squared minus 2q squared is 10q squared. And from there we can divide that through by 10. So therefore q squared equals 4. And if we take the square root, remember that we've got both a positive solution and a negative solution, so it's going to be plus or minus the square root of 4, and q is therefore plus or minus 2. So we have our values of q equals 2 or q equals negative 2. But we should also do a little check just to make sure that those solutions are correct. I recommend that where possible you do this check, because it's going to do one of 2 things. It's either going to give you peace of mind knowing that your solution is correct, or it's going to show you that something's gone awry and you need to correct your solution. So if q equals positive 2, let's say, then q over 4 is going to be 2 over 4. 2 divided by 4 is a half. And 5 over q, well q is 2, so that's going to be 5 over 2, which is 2.5. So we've got half plus 2.5, which is 3, so our left hand side is 3, and our right hand side is going to be 3 times q, which is going to be 3 times 2 is 6, divided by 2, that gives us 3. So both sides give us 3 if q is 2. That means that it's working for q equals 2. Let's do the same for negative 2 as well. So we've got negative 2 divided by 4. That would give you negative a half, plus 5 divided by negative 2. That gives you negative 2.5. So minus half plus negative 2.5 is negative 3. And the right hand side is 3 times negative 2, which is negative 6, divided by 2, and that gives us negative 3. So again, we have the agreement that we want. Both sides give us -3 if q equals -2. So again, -2 is a solution. So we have solved this equation. Thanks for watching. Over and out.